Good morning. Today is the 10th day of June. The time is 9 o'clock. The Board of Commissioners is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. Commissioner Daly and myself are currently present and Commissioner Davidson is absent. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Before we do that, would you identify yourself, starting over here for the record?
Rob Brown, Treasurer's Office. Robert Gray, Prosecutor's Office.
Tim Klein, Treasurer's Office.
Bob Perkins, Ada County Procurement.
Bob Batista, Expo, Idaho.
Sean Rain, Paramedics.
Robin Sweeney, Procurement.
Jennifer Pike, HR.
Nate Pierce with Hub International.
Lisa Donlin, Hub International.
Bethany Cali, HR.
Elizabeth Duncan, Communications.
IT guy.
Katie Reed, Clerk's Office. Beth Bond, Treasurer.
Okay, now, we do have a change to the agenda. I'll accept a motion.
Is this the photo recognition?
No, we're gonna change the agenda first, and then we'll do the recognition.
No, I mean, what's the change?
You've got it there.
I don't have it. Oh, the overall agenda, I thought you meant the agenda.
No, the overall.
For this meeting,
No.
okay. You didn't change to the, okay, I moved to add the Expo Idaho Western Idaho Fair Board meeting to the agenda, agenda for today's agenda.
The daily agenda, yeah. Okay, I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. First item up we have for consideration is, would you read? We're going to, there's somebody been working in Ada County for 125 years.
I aged well, by the way, I aged well.
Would you read the recognition?
He aged well anyway, even for 25 years. We are honored to celebrate Bob Batista's 25 years of service as Director of Expo Idaho and the Western Idaho Fair. Bob's roots in the fair industry began in Great Falls, Montana, and his leadership experience spans Montana State Fair, Metro Park in Billings, the Solano County Fair in California. Since joining Ada County in 2000, Bob has transformed Expo Idaho into a thriving, self-funded destination hosting of over 1 million visitors annually. Expo hosts more than 175 diverse events spanning everything from large-scale trade shows and multi-day festivals to cultural celebrations, quinceañeras, and community events. Under Bob's leadership, revenue has grown by nearly 300%, and significant improvements like a new main gate and administration building have enhanced the 240-acre campus. Bob has also shaped the Western Idaho Fair into the state's largest event, drawing over 250,000 attendees each August. As a passionate advocate for entertainment and the fair industry, Bob has been instrumental in its success. He has held several leadership positions in national and regional associations, earning a Hall of Fame induction from the Rocky Mountain Fair Association in 2016. His vision helped guide the repurposing of the fairgrounds, post-horse racing, leading to two major developments. The park at Expo, a 50-acre public park that will include nature trails, open green spaces and recreation areas, and a Boise Pro Soccer, which will anchor a new stadium and professional training complex, both slated to open in 2026. These projects represent a transformative next chapter for Expo Idaho and Ada County. Bob's dedication and collaborative spirit have left a lasting legacy. Over 25 years, Bob has partnered with dozens of county commissioners, advisory board members, and community stakeholders. Through every transition and challenge, he has remained a tireless advocate for Expo Idaho and the role it plays in enhancing our community. Please join us in honoring his remarkable 25 years of service to Ada County and Expo Idaho, starting when he was 4 years old.
Well, I'd like to thank Bob for his stupendous efforts with the fair. we work quite a bit with Bob. I still can remember our first meeting with Bob as Brian and I took over. And it was during the middle of COVID, and they had been demanded to not have a fair the previous fall. And so we changed all that, and Bob was excited, and so was his fair board excited. And it's just been a pleasure to work with you and the leadership that you've demonstrated and the changes that's taken place, including the Park at Expo and Pro Soccer and all that. It's just been great. Anybody from the staff wish to say anything?
It's been a great almost 20 years for some of us, and great leadership and letting us take the lead on the things that we need to do that he assigns us to, and it's been great. It's been great.
Yeah, it's the best boss I ever had. Of course, it's the only boss I've ever had.
That narrows it right down. Yeah, well, anybody else wish to say anything? Well, thank you, Bob. If you'd come up here, we'll give you your plaque and we'll take a picture. Get your staff up here.
No gold watch?
Yeah, they're one behind here.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been great.
So much.
Yeah. Hey, we have 3 Bobs in here today. Yeah, okay. Well, we have some unfinished business. I'll accept the motion to remove the unfinished business from the table.
I'll move to remove the unfinished business from the table for consideration.
The second motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Our first item under unfinished business this morning is the final ranking and award recommendation for RFP 25051, the Ada County Jail Health Services Electronic Medical Records. And the evaluation team has completed the evaluation for these proposals and would like to submit this recommendation letter for your consideration.
Could you read the letter?
Be happy to.
Thank you.
Letter dated June 10th, 2025 to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding RFP 25051. Dear members of the board, the evaluation committee has evaluated the responses for RFP 25051. A final ranking of qualified candidates was determined by evaluation scoring. The final rankings in order of evaluation scoring are as follows. Number 1, Sapphire Health LLC with a score of 127.70. Number 2, Core EMR with a score of 122.12. Number 3, Autonomy Today, doing business as Cadmus, and they had a score of 102.80. And number 4 was Fusion Capital Management LLC, doing business as Fusion Health, with a score of 59.01. Number 5, Medicalistics LLC, with a score of 55.98. Number 6, Altera Digital Health Incorporated with a score of 50.05. Number 7 was Correctional Health Incorporated with a score of 48.30. And number 8 is Software, they were non-responsive. And number 9, CNT Infotech Corporation, they also were non-responsive. It is a recommendation of the evaluation group to award the contract for RFP 25051 to Sapphire Health LLC as the number 1 ranked proposer.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
I move to award, based on the recommendation of the evaluation committee, award RFP 25051, Ada County Jail Health Services Electronic Medical Records to Sapphire Health LLC.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
Yes, our second item under unfinished business is the final ranking and award recommendation for RFP 25035, the Ada County Temporary Staffing Services for Professional, Clerical, and Elections. And the evaluation team will need more time to review these proposals, and therefore we'd like to request to retable the final rankings and award recommendation to the June 17th, 2025 open business meeting.
Okay. All right, I'll accept the motion.
I move to table the award of RFP 25035 to June 17, 2025.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, our final item under unfinished business is the award of bid 25054, the Ada County Sheriff's Office and Marshal Office uniforms. And the evaluation team is still reviewing these bids, but during the review process, we received a protest from Uniforms to Gear in response to a submittal from another vendor. Therefore, we'd like to retable the award recommendation to the June 17th, 2025 open business meeting for further consideration. And this is their protest here. This is their letter for your review. And we'll be meeting sometimes here soon with you to discuss this this protest with you further. But in the meantime, if we can get this retabled to June 17th, 2025.
Okay, I'll accept the motion.
I move to table award of bid 25054 to the June 17th OBM meeting.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we have some new business, a resolution. I'll open the public hearing on resolution number 3097. A resolution providing for the sale of tax deeded property located at 2660 West Airport Way. Okay, you wanna give us a little idea on this?
I'd be happy to, Mr. Chairman,
I wanna
Commissioner.
check the oil.
Okay.
First.
That's right. So this resolution provides for the sale of property that Ada County acquired by tax deed for unpaid taxes. Idaho law requires that the property be offered for sale at public auction, so that's what this resolution is providing for. I will note that this process is to recover unpaid taxes that we distribute to the taxing districts. I'll also note that Ada County does not profit from this. We recover just the costs, fees, and taxes related to the delinquency, but again, does not retain any excess proceeds should the property sell.
Yep.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, I might add, we're working with procurement, we've retained an auctioneer. We're intending to sell it September 18th. There's been a bankruptcy hiccup.
This is that hotel?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we are trying to lift the stay in bankruptcy court to allow us to proceed with the sale.
You don't have that stay lifted yet?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. I'll accept a motion to approve resolution number 3097 after I close the public hearing. It's closed.
I'll move to approve resolution number 3097 as listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay, you heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll sell it if we can get the bankruptcy stay lifted. Okay, moving on, we have, procurement. We'll have a couple of bid openings. Go ahead.
Yes, we do. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, the first item for opening today is bid 25057, the Ada County Sheriff's Office Radio Sites Power System Battery Replacement. And we received 3 responses for this project. And if you're ready for us to open, Robin will proceed.
Let's open. Bonfire up and running?
It is. So just a little bit about this project. This is a project for 72 valve-regulated lead-acid DC batteries at various radio sites across the county. So this is a replacement of existing batteries.
And they're valve regulated.
They're valve-regulated.
Let's go. Let's open it up. And we'll make sure they're all valve regulated, correct?
Yes, that's part of the spec.
Okay, there it is.
All right, so we will have the name of the bidder and the total bid amount. The first bidder is Legacy Power Systems, and they have a total bid amount of $99,391. Pacific Source Electric is bidder number 2, and they have a total bid amount of $150,000. Bidder number 3 is Turbulin Enterprises LLC, and they have a total bid amount of $87,916.44. So those are our 3 bidders, and we'll need a little time to review these bids. And we would like to request that this be tabled for award to the June 17th, 2025 open business meeting.
Okay, I'll have the motion.
I move to table bid 25057 to the June 17th open business meeting.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Now we'll open RFP 25058.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, we received 9 proposals for RFP 25058, the Ada County Employee Benefits Consultant Project. And we have the bonfire queued up if you're ready for us to open.
Well, let's fire up bonfire.
All right. Today, Mr. Chairman, we'll just be reading the name of the proposers into the record. Our 9 proposers are, starting with Acrisure LLC, Envita Health Advisor, First Vice President, Gallagher Benefit Services, GBS Benefits Incorporated, Hub International, Milliman, Propel Insurance, and the Siegel Company, rounding out our 9 proposers. And we'll need a little time to review these proposals, and so we'd like to request that this be tabled for final ranking and award recommendation to the July 1st, 2025 open business meeting.
17th is filled, huh?
Yeah. We're gonna have a busy day then.
Okay, I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to table the award of RFP 25058 to July 1st, 2025.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Right?
Motion carries. Okay, now we'll open up RFP 2506.
Yes, and Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, our final opening today is RFP 25061, the Ada County Towing Services Project. And we received 4 proposals for RFP 25061. And if you're ready for us to open, we'll proceed.
Okay, we're ready. Fire up bonfire.
Yes. When Robin opens these up, we do note that there is one bidder that submitted 2 bids. One bid, this is gonna be Boise Valley Towing. They submitted 2 bids, one prior to our release of our addendum, which they had to acknowledge in their bid. So they withdrew that, but they didn't withdraw it in bonfire. They resubmitted yesterday, June 9th, and so that's the proposal we're gonna go forward with. This is June 9th proposal.
The addendum must have been important.
It is. They have to acknowledge it to go on, so.
All right, let's go.
All right, so we have our 4 proposals up there, and we have Boise Valley Towing, 5 Star Towing, Camco Enterprises Incorporated, and Stoffers Road Solutions. So those are our 4 proposers, and we would like to request that this be tabled for final ranking and award recommendation to the July 1st, 2025 open business meeting.
Okay. I'll accept the motion.
I move to table RFP 25061 to the July 1st open business meeting.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Okay, we're moving on. We have a catering permit that's been previously signed, we need to ratify. And I'll accept the motion on the catering permit and we'll do the others.
I'll move to approve the catering permit previously signed by Commissioner Beck on 6/4/2025, as listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion, is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, now we have a new catering permit and new license, 3 new licenses, a license transfer and license renewals. I think we can do those in one motion.
I move to approve the new license,
New catering.
new catering permit, new licenses as listed on the agenda, the license transfer, and the license renewals as listed on the agenda, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Okay, now we have the clerk's office, and we have Ms. Katie standing in for the clerk.
Yes, good morning,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair, Commissioners. I bet you can guess what my update will be about, and
No,
that is
I can't.
budget.
Oh,
We're right in the thick of it.
Surprise.
Yeah, we appreciate all the department heads and elected officials presenting their budgets this week. I just wanted to clarify the schedule for today. We had to make some modifications. So immediately following the clerk's briefing at 3:30 will be weed pest and mosquito, and then following that, Expo Idaho. So we appreciate the flexibility from Adam and Bob on that one. Sorry you had to wear a suit twice in a row.
I slept in it, it didn't wrinkle.
good.
And then other than that, we have the public comment at 5 PM tomorrow. So anyone who wants to come provide testimony on the budget can do that at 5 PM.
Are you recruiting people?
I'm not, but typically we don't have many people show
Oh,
up, as
yeah.
you know, but that's tomorrow, so that's
Okay,
our focus.
all right. Any questions for the clerk's office? All right, well, good enough. Okay, moving on, we have the claims journal next. I'll accept a motion on the claims journal.
I'll move to authorize payment of the claims on the claims journal, dated June 10th, 2025. Is that right? June 6th, 2025.
I second the motion.
Okay. You've heard the motion, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Next, we have some personnel actions. I'll accept a motion on the personnel actions.
I move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have the treasurer's office up. Treasurer's office is gonna tell us how to change oil.
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna talk about property taxes.
Surprise,
That's even better.
Surprise.
Just a brief update, a reminder of an important upcoming due date. That is June 20th, next Friday. That is the due date for the second half 2024 property taxes. And this due date is significant because Idaho law requires that if payments are not timely, that night we will assess a 2% late charge. and interest does go back to January. So it's a very significant one. We offer several options for taxpayers to make this payment. In addition to walk-ins, we offer payments. People can pay by phone, electronically, and use several of our drop boxes. So just wanted to keep that on everyone's radar of next Friday. And with that, hand it off to Tim.
Ah, oh yeah.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners,
How's our money doing?
it's doing good. Yeah, it's steady as she goes. And in fact, this past month, there just wasn't a lot of activity at all. We had no maturities. We had no new purchases, so it's just the portfolio has remained static. And if you go to page 6, you'll see, I like to look at that each month. You look at the total in the far right column and down at the bottom, we've earned a little over 8,071,000 and change. And this is our 8th month into our fiscal year, so right around about $1 million a month, which is what we had forecasted. And so the only real significant thing that's happened in the investment world this past month on May 16th, which has happened since the last time we met, and you may have heard about that, was Moody's downgraded the U.S. debt rating. And so that marks the there's 3 large ratings companies, Moody's being the final third one that did the downgrade. S&P, which is what, if you've noticed on our on our sheets here, S&P rating, we use S&P for the rating on these, and they used to be AAA, and then in 2011 they were downgraded by S&P to AA+, and so we don't really talk too much about that column, but these are the highest grade that the U.S. government offers. And it used to be higher. Then in Fitch in 2023, a couple years ago, they also did a downgrade. Now this is the third. And so that shook markets up, shook the bond markets up, shook the equities markets up, and you saw a little bit of turmoil there and a lot of concern. And the reason they did that is simply because the U.S. debt outlook is growing a little more dire, the debt's continuing to grow. It's kind of interesting because there's actually 2 companies that have a higher debt rating than the U.S. government. One's Johnson & Johnson, the other one's Microsoft. So they still have a AAA rating. And so I guess what that kind of says is you're more likely to get paid back when you loan money to one of those 2 companies than the U.S., which is kind of a weird thing to think about.
But they're not having any problem selling the securities.
Well,
Because that's the
it
main
seems
issue.
the demand is still there, and there's a lot of entities like ours that's really the only investment choice that you have. And so when you have excess money, where does it go? You want to earn something on that, and so there's that sort of demand. But you've noticed over the past several months, especially on the long end of the curve, the bonds have increased, and that's one of the reasons mortgages are so high right now than they had been in the past, because the bond investors are demanding more. If there's more and more concern about the U.S. government's debt, and then with the new legislation that's currently out there, they project that that's going to create more annual deficits and more long-term debt. So there's tax cuts involved, and then ongoing payments like Social Security and so forth. So it's not a huge concern. It's on the radar of the Fed, and they're going to be meeting next week. And there's been a lot of pressure on the Fed, on Powell to lower rates, but the consensus right now is that there won't be any lowering of the rates next week, and maybe much further out into the fall or even later. Of course, the president, you may have also heard, trying to put that pressure because the president wants the economy to do well naturally. So while we didn't have a whole lot going on with our portfolio internally, there is still a lot going on out there, and it just depends on what the Fed continues to do and the legislation that comes out of the government and where the spend is going to be going.
Do you see any reason why the interest income will not continue at about the same rate throughout the rest of the year, fiscal year?
The rest of the fiscal year should, our projections are that it'll continue.
About 12 million.
About 12 million is what we should see, because even if the Fed lowers the rates, and we don't think they will next week, couple months out. If they do, it's getting close to the end of our fiscal year. And a lot of our investments, except for the real short-term money, right now in our money markets on the front page, you'll see we have about 12 million in the money market. But the majority of it's in LGIP and then these longer-term bonds. And so those, you won't see a big drop right away. It'll take a little bit of time to reverberate through the LGIP. And that's one of the reasons we like the LGIP, because it's very liquid for us. But the maturities in those in that pool is about a year or less. But with the money market, if the Fed lowers the rate, we'll see a drop, that
Takes a
very-
while to
Yeah, very
reverberate.
next month we'll see that. Yep.
Okay, got anything else for us on this?
I think that's it.
Any questions?
Just one question. What's the relation, like if they lower by 25 basis points, how's that reflected in the money markets?
The money markets will.
Is it a direct relationship?
There is, yeah, because the money markets are very liquid, very short term, and so
didn't know if they
if we see a 25 basis point drop, we'll immediately see, and the very next time we meet, which is once a month, we'll see those rates drop in tandem.
I just know what the relationship was. Thanks.
Okay, any other questions? All right, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Got anything else for us, Treasurer?
That's it, thank you.
Okay.
No oil stories.
No.
I'm never gonna live that down.
Never.
Okay, now we have operations. We have a couple of change orders. Change order number one, our ARPA Ada County Jail Benjamin Campus replacement agreement number 3061, a decrease. We must have finished that project, and this is the leftover, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
that is the leftover unused donor contingency for the project. So for the ARPA project, it's going to be returned to the ARPA fund line.
Yep.
And for the other project, it'll be returned to the operations budget.
Okay, I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to approve change order number one as listed on the agenda.
Okay, is there a second to the
I
motion?
second the motion.
Okay, there's a second to the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
We have another change order, to the Health Services Unit roof replacement. Same thing there. We need a motion on that.
I move to approve change order number 1 to agreement number 30434 as listed on the agenda.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. All right, we have some minutes to approve. Any question or discussion on any of the minutes? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have a couple of agreements several agreements at Expo Idaho, an interim agreement, and concessionaire agreement, commercial exhibit agreement. Any question, discussion on any of the agreements for the Expo Idaho? Go ahead.
Just as, since Bob's here and we just talked about this is an example of the kind of stuff that he's doing out there. So we have almost a full agenda of things that are going on out there. So with that, I would move that we approve the Western Idaho Fair interim agreements, concessionary agreements, and commercial exhibitor agreements as listed on the agenda.
Second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, now we have an agreement from Barber Park and Waterways Education Event Center. I'll accept a motion on that agreement.
I'll move to approve the Barber Park Education and Event Center agreement as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Good, motion carries. Now we have a letter to the community banks dealing with the community guardian. Any questions on that? I'll accept a motion.
I move to authorize Marika Dudek to send a letter to the various banks notifying them of her authority granted under resolution number 2637 to act on behalf of the Board of Community Guardians as reflected in resolution 2637.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have ratification of a previously signed agreement. Agreement ratifying the agreement 304428. Is there any questions on that one? I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to ratify agreement number 30428 for the purpose of acknowledging additional contract exhibits, approve the remaining agreements, and authorize the, well, we didn't discuss the other agreements, so.
No.
I'll just move to ratify agreement number 30428 for the purposes of acknowledging additional contract exhibits, and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Now we can talk about the 9 new agreements. Is there any question or discussion on any of the 9 new agreements?
We have one for election tracking and inventory management services. Did you want to tell us about that one?
Sure, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Davidson. That is just an inventory management system that they've identified that's very specific to elections. And so it's gonna help them just with all of their equipment and tracking those things and identifying when they're, you know, needing to purchase more and when they're losing their lifespan. So we appreciate the board's support in that. That'll help them out a lot as they're growing and getting more equipment.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion on the 9 new agreements.
I move to approve the 9 new agreements as listed on the agenda.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. All right, next up, we have the indigent services, weekly indigent items. Is there any question or discussion on the weekly indigent items? Hearing none, I will accept a motion.
I'll move to accept the recommendations of the indigent services staff as listed on the summary of cases dated June 10th, 2025, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Well, that concludes our written agenda. Is there any other business that needs to be brought before the board? Hearing none, we're adjourned. We are adjourned. Thank you. Okay, we're on the record. Good morning. Today is June 10th. The time is 9:38. The board is in session, acting as a Board of County Emergency Medical Services District for our weekly open business meeting. All 3 commissioners are present. We also have with us
Sean Rain, paramedics.
Elizabeth Duncan, Communications.
and real IT guy. Okay. All right, are there any changes to the agenda, Madam Clerk?
They're not.
No changes, okay. First item on the agenda is a resolution. I'll open the public hearing on resolution 3098, adjusting the Ada County budget to reflect the receipt of unscheduled revenue to the Emergency Medical Services District budget. You got more money, huh?
More money. It's a grant from the Western Idaho Healthcare Coalition.
Okay.
And I think that's the agreement at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Is there any questions or discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, go ahead.
It's an interesting combination of counties as opposed to, not the health district, not the judicial district. How did that coalition come together in terms of those counties?
That's Mr. Chair, Commissioner Daly, that's a good question. I don't know how they formed that, but it has worked really well. And it's been in place for, gosh, as long as I can remember. you know, the hospitals, the health districts, all get together and meet, and they've got this coalition, and they've been very generous to us. We were able to get other equipment last year from them, and different training mannequins, and certainly these child restraint devices have been, you know, wonderful. Because we started out, when I first got into EMS back in '92, typically mom would just hold on to a child on the gurney, which isn't the best idea. And we've gone through several iterations, and now this device is it fits more patients correctly, so.
Because it's Fayette and Gem and some of the
Yeah.
counties that aren't normally in our group of counties.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but it's valley-wide, and they do really good things.
Well, good. And they train mannequins?
Well, they've given us money. We actually have a whole sim family now. So we have a sim man, a sim child, and a pregnant sim mother. Yeah.
Okay.
Now we need is a sim home.
All right, well, that may be coming.
Actually have one at the Sheriff's Training Center. They've got a whole sim home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have
They
homes
do.
out there, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would say I'll close the public hearing on resolution 3098. Call for a motion.
I move to approve EMS resolution number 3098 as listed on the agenda.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, we'll have the claims journal. I'll accept the motion on the claims journal.
I'll move to authorize payment of claims on the EMS Claims Journal dated June 6, 2025.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval of the minutes. Any question or discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the EMS, the Emergency Medical Services District minutes for 5/27/2025.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have grants, grant number 2508B, a grant award from Western Idaho Healthcare Coalition for purchase of emergency child restraints. We talked about. No county match. Any questions or discussion on the grants? Or grant? Okay, I'll accept the motion to authorize the grant.
I'll move to approve and accept grant number 2508-B and authorize the chairman to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Now we have our EMS update. You got 30 minutes.
30 minutes. That's more than I took yesterday for my budget presentation. I do want to update one thing. I think, Mr. Chair, you asked a question at the very end about the $121,000. That actually goes to pay for our medical directors. So Dr. Irvin and Dr. Cornett not going to the state. So it does come through Access, and so each fire department pays their share of it. I think our share is about $70,000 or so. Yeah, that pays for the doctors.
Okay,
So
good.
I got thrown off. by
Duly
that.
noted.
It's not for licenses. As I stood up there, I was like, that's a lot of money that we would be paying to renew people's licenses.
Well, that's
But
what confused me about it.
that only comes out to about $6,500.
Right.
And that's for everybody in the system, not just Ada County, so it's much less for us.
Another one of those state mandates.
Yeah. Everybody's gotta have a license.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And that's really all I had for today.
Oh, yeah. Update on your budget presentation.
That's it.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Anything else that we need to talk about before we adjourn?
No, sir.
Okay, then we're adjourned.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. We're adjourned.